What is going on, everybody? We're here and we are live on YouTube, on Rumble, on Facebook. We've got the locals chat going. You know, one thing, I'm so stupid. I forgot to do the Streamlabs link like an idiot. I forgot to do the Streamlabs link. That's all right. We've still got time before anybody rolls in and realizes that I forgot that shit. That's okay. Nobody will notice. Nobody will notice. Hello to everybody. Happy Sunday. I hope everybody's having a good day as it tells me what my actual link is so I can get the Streamlabs thing up. See, this is why. This is why I don't do this. Or this is why I do this before the show, usually. Come on, you piece of shit. Let's see, what do we got here? Make sure I put in the right number. Yes, remember this computer. Well, that's stupid. Why won't it do that? Let's try this one. Fucking problems already. Problems already. This is not a Gary stream, but already we've got boomer issues, clearly. That's all right. At least we got the stream started. At least, hopefully, you guys can actually hear me. That's the real goal. That's really all we're looking for. That's the baseline level that we have here. Let's say hi to people in the chat as I'm getting all that figured out. Hello to Hunter Tiborks. I don't know how to say that. That is a dumb first one for me to pick. Miss Spock, or M Spock, Terry Chavez, Phil Espa, Sam 00, Darth Gorebag, Denny Tate, Holly is here, says a very happy 5-year anniversary to your content creation. Ryan, cheers to many, many more. Thank you. And we're going to get to that because it totally blew by. Thanks to the YouTube studio for reminding me that it had been 5 years since I put out videos on this channel. Dom H is also here. Destroyer to all trolls. Jessica Lindstrom, Greg McMahon, Idiot is here. Hello. Sandman. Who else? Venom Quest, Todd McDanger, Mike DeGott, Malty, Wishful Wizard, American Outlaw, 1776, Jim Heimerl. I saw Selena in chat a little bit earlier. Valorous Cult. Liam Neeson's Chin. Always good to see you, Liam Neeson's Chin. Mrs. Sassy Sasquatch, Lord Thoth. So many peeps up in the house today. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate everybody being here right to start off the stream. You guys are awesome, and I appreciate it. And yeah, we got some stuff to cover today. Obviously, we know there's been a little bit of drama going on with Snow White. It's been a week since they released that disastrous trailer, and it is creeping up to 1 million dislikes. Not too many videos we've seen, not too many, teaser videos or, trailers, that stuff like that we've seen have hit 1 million dislikes. But this one certainly has the possibility, just like The Little Mermaid did before it. And I kind of want to do a recap because it's so much has happened in this Snow White saga. And I feel like every video we do on it, we're kind of like, remember when Rachel Zegler said this dumb shit? Well, I figured we got to go and show the reality from the beginning. What has happened with this? What started the backlash? What continued the backlash? What made it worse, leading to where we actually are now with an actress, a young woke actress, deciding with all the controversy she's had, you know what would be the best thing for me to do? Maybe I'm going to tweet out my support of Palestine attached to a promotion for Snow White. Probably not the best idea for her. But hey, you do you. Please keep making it worse for yourselves. Support the stream through Streamlabs. Super chat. Boom. There we go. We actually got it going now. We finally worked our way in there. It was only a matter of time, but here we are. What else? Oh, Mark Hamill. You know what? Mark Hamill, another motherfucker that can't keep his mouth shut. There was a story going around about something that happened at Chicago Fan Expo, that he had insulted basically Donald Trump fans and said, hey, force me with you unless you're fucking MAGA, then go force yourself. And I was prepared to defend Mark Hamill and say, you know what? I don't think this story is legit. I don't think this story is real. I looked at the end of the panel and I didn't see him say that. So I thought it was just a little bit of fake news. And as much as I might despise the guy, I was going to defend him a little bit. Then I actually decided I should watch the whole panel and see. Maybe he does fucking say that. I should watch the entire thing. Let me go through this entire, cringe-inducing Mark Hamill panel, which I wouldn't normally sit through on a daily basis, but I should do my due diligence. Well, guess what we found? His story is absolutely correct, and Mark Hamill did, in fact, say that at Fan Expo Chicago. Can't help himself. And everyone's going to have their own political opinions. I certainly disagree with Mark Hamill's political opinions. I think he's fucking, absolutely retarded at this point. But it's another thing to bring it into something when people are there to hear you talk about Star Wars. So we are definitely going to talk that. Deadpool and Wolverine now officially is the biggest R-rated movie at the box office of all time. Now, if you adjust for inflation, I don't think that necessarily is the case. However, regardless, the numbers are what they are. It has passed Joker as the biggest R-rated movie in history, which is kind of a massive accomplishment for sure. Slowing down a little bit at that box office, but it's still a very impressive number, passing 1.1 billion at the box office. Ubisoft firing some more people right before a couple, maybe their biggest, disappointments of the year end up coming out. So going to talk about that too. And who knows? Maybe a little more. You never know. You never know what might happen. Gotta hydrate though today. I have had a fucking terrible headache for the past couple days. So maybe I'm just dehydrated. We'll just keep drinking water. That's what we can do. I can do that. All right. I can do that. Already in chat, we got Blue-Eyed Scorpio starting shit. Ryan, the Disney fine print says I can live on your couch. Well, I'm sorry. Just because you signed up for a free version of Disney Plus does not give you the right to come sleep on my couch. Blue-Eyed Scorpio, you bum. Sam, member for 4 months. Happy 5-year anniversary. Thank you for always making my Sundays a lot better with your live stream. Hail, RK Outpost. Look at all these freaking things. The Anchor, a Hail, and an RK Nation. Thank you. GraphWeb for 2. For fuck's sake, cancel Disney Plus. At this point, cancel as you don't pay, but you're already bought in. GraphWeb, you're already bought into that Disney fine print. We just got 10 gifted memberships from Dom H. 10, dropping them down. Boom. That's $50 fucking right there from our man Dom. Shout out to Dom. Thank you, buddy. I swear in every fucking stream, every single one. Don't know how you do it, man. Don't have how you have the time of day. As is Wonky Eyebrow for £5. Happy anniversary. Here's to 5+ more years. Unless a random server messes with a food order, something nasty. Have a drink on me. Well, thank you for the £5. As is Wonky Eyebrow. I just opened up a bottle of Basil Hayden, so maybe I'll have a drink or two in celebration. We'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later. Let's see. Press Tilda. With 10, that's another $50 fucking right there. $50 fucking. 10 gifted memberships from Press Tilde. Thank you very much for the gifts. I'm sure a lot of people appreciate that. Jim Heimerl for 5. Congrats on 5 years of not giving any fucks. Yeah, it's hard to imagine it's been that long, yet somehow here we are. Here we are. Thoughts on fitness with Nigel? Wow, Ryan, been watching more or less since you first started. Took a while to sign up, though. Keep up the great work. Keep me in hysterics. I'll do my best. I'll do my best. Fantastic, Mr. Knox for Aussie 10. G'day, everyone. Hail, Ryan. As divisive Aliens Romulus was, where some say it's either good or bad, I kind of enjoyed it for the most part, but it's like the horse-drawing meme. It was good to the last act. Yeah, so I watched Alien Romulus. I am not a big fan of the Aliens franchise. I don't even know if I've seen all of the different entries. Obviously, I saw Alien, Aliens. I saw Prometheus. I don't know. I don't know if I can name any of the other ones I've watched, or maybe I missed them or not. So I'm not like some hardcore fan or whatever. I enjoyed the first half of the movie. I liked what they were setting up with. Hey, this kind of different aspect of Weyland-Yutani where like the corporation's trying to keep people like there on that planet. They don't want them to escape because they want to keep them working. and a plan to escape that, a plan that included interstellar travel, a plan that so it made sense they wouldn't be able to, they'd have to go to cryo freeze if they were going to make it this 9-year journey, all that stuff, all these things these people were trying to do to get away. I like that. I like the idea of the retarded synth in that relationship that then very obviously switches. I don't want to give away any spoilers in case anyone actually wants to watch it, but obviously that dynamic changes throughout the movie. And I would say for the first half, maybe first hour, maybe, it's not like I was loving it or whatever, but I was okay with it. Certainly intentionally a lot of callbacks to the franchise. But I was okay. I feel like the third act, it just goes completely off the rails in terms of the way things happen, the rate at which things happen, the things they decide to do, some of the desperate attempts to recreate some of the shit we've seen before that felt really forced in there from other entries in the franchise. And by the end, I was like, I don't know. I went in there after the first half of the movie. I could have been like, yeah, it's okay. Maybe 5.5, 6, maybe. Not like I loved it or anything. And then after that third act kind of brought me down a little bit. I don't think it was, for me, it wasn't like horrendous, but I'm also not some super knowledgeable Alien franchise fan. So other people could certainly have different interpretations than I do. Definitely went off at the end though. We just got $100 super chat from Valiant Renegade. The man says, happy 5-year, Ryan. God bless. Love you, bro. Hey, shout out Valiant Renegade. Thank you, dude, for $100 super chat. And yes, 5 years. 5 years on YouTube. Yeah, I've told this story before. I'm sure I'll tell it again. A little over 5 years ago. When was Comic-Con? 2019 San Diego Comic-Con dates. Can we look that up? That was July 18th to July 21st, 2019. That is when Gary and Jeremy had a little meetup at a bar in San Diego. And at the time I was living in San Diego. I was in the military and I was watching these guys on YouTube and I thought, fuck, I'm never going to have another opportunity to see these guys. I watched some of their videos, might as well go. And I don't know, there was maybe 6, 8, 9 people maybe at this meetup that Gary and Jeremy showed up to. And obviously I don't know where Gary was or Jeremy was in terms of sub count, but it was cool. We got to talk. I talked to them about a lot of shit. I talked to Jeremy about sports. We talked a lot about movies. We argued about Star Wars and the Clone Wars and DC and all this shit. And by the end of it, Gary came up to me and Gary said, hey, you should start a YouTube channel, man. You seem like you know a lot. You seem like you speak well. And I think you'd be good on YouTube. And I thought, well, fuck, I never even thought about it. I was in the military. I was operating nuclear. Well, at that point, I was training people on how to use nuclear reactors when I was there on shore duty in a training command. But, that's what I had planned to do when I got out. I planned to go civilian sector, get a job at a nuclear power plant, which pretty good jobs. If you don't know, straight from what I was doing in the military to the civilian, the private nuclear energy production, it's pretty good, pretty solid job. And that's just kind of what I thought I was going to do. Never had any other thoughts that I would do anything different. And then 10 minutes later, Jeremy comes up, tells me the same fucking thing, except the ads on top of it. And if you ever do to start a YouTube channel, let me know because I want to work with you. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? Work with you. I thought that was kind of weird. And I let it simmer for like, a week. And I hit up Jeremy and I said, hey, man, I think I'd like to start. So let me see what I can do. And we get some equipment and I'll start a YouTube channel and see what we can do. And 2 weeks later, my first video may have been July 31st or August 2nd, something like that. Right in that time frame is when I put out my first video. And I totally forgot that it was the 5-year anniversary until YouTube Studio reminded me. So thank you, YouTube Studio, for reminding me of what I was too stupid to remember myself. 5 fucking years. In dog years, I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot in dog years. That's sometimes what YouTube feels like. But here we are. 5 years later, haven't been deplatformed yet. We're still growing the channel, still pissing the right people off. And it's good. I appreciate all the support that I've got over the past 5 years. I never saw, my life going this way, as I stated. And so it's always humbling to be able to, one, wake up and do my own thing, be my own boss. Obviously, I work with Jeremy, I work with Geeks and Gamers, stuff like that. But to be my own boss on a daily basis of what I want to do is not something I necessarily ever thought I'd have. I was pretty resigned to, and it would have been a good job, operating reactors or maybe just other form of energy distribution or something like that. But I was pretty resigned to doing that, and I was fine with it. But it was just a job. It's not like I was passionate about it or anything. So I'm forever grateful, one, for that conversation with Jeremy and Gary, and also for all of the people in chat, the same people that have showed up somehow. Some people still are in the chat that I saw 5 years ago, from those first couple live streams I did that maybe had 50 or 60 people watching. So appreciate the hell out of all of you guys. Even if it seems like the day-to-day grind or whatever, that I might take it for granted. Sometimes I have to remind myself that I cannot take it for granted. And you guys do a good job of holding me accountable all the time. And I just really, truly appreciate it. And it's awesome. And here's to 5 more years. Can you imagine that? Now, in 5 more years, I'm actually going to be the person that all these people complain about. Somebody in their 40s fucking complaining about all this shit, because 5 years from now, I will be 40. I'm 35 years old, which is ancient enough as it is. Doesn't feel great to be 35. But you know what? It's all about perspective. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for 5 fucking years on YouTube. It's pretty crazy, and I couldn't do it without you guys. So thank you. Anyway, Maximus BT, after that heartfelt message, are you retarded? Thank you, Maximus. Some days I feel like it. Is this another? Hold on. This is another 10 gifted memberships from Press Tilde. Thank you so much. That's fucking 20 gifted memberships, which is $100 overall. Shout out to Press Tilde. Thank you, good sir. Or ma'am, I guess. Could be a man, but the odds are not in your favor. Over on the Rumble side, we got another $100 dono. $100 from Unicycle Peon. Says, happy 5-year anniversary, bitch. I mean, good sir. Yes, good sir. Love your stuff. Thank you, Unicycle Peon. And, I have not been on Rumble quite that long, but I've been on Rumble for a fucking while. Probably 2 years before everybody started doing the jump ship. I was doing streams on Rumble, and I'm glad for the people that have been over there since I started my shit there as well. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, Unicycle Peon. I see Timothy Bird over in the Rumble, or over in the Facebook live chat. Shout out to you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. I need another drink. I might need an actual fucking drink before this is all said and done. I probably need a haircut. My hair's getting a little poofy on the sides. You see how it's fucking poofy and looks weird now? It's getting long. Whoops, I went the wrong way. I was looking at my camera. Went the wrong way. My bad. Where am I? I totally messed up my stuff. We got that. We got that. Dom H, member for 31 months. Ryan, someone said if you're 45 minutes late for a stream, you're still late. My rules are a little bit different, okay? Daily, I agree. We can't be late on daily. That's boom, boom, boom. That's a daily thing. You want to be there 11. For me, it's a little bit flexible, shall we say. Valiant Renegade with $5 more. Hop on the live show when you're done if you like. I don't, when I get done, typically I do stuff with members, and then usually I'm editing everything. But if I can, I'll shoot you a message, Valiant. I'll see what's going on over there. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. And again, thank you for the big donut. Chikara for 50. I think you have a hate it because you're too sober. You might be right. You might be right. It's been a fucking, like, right fucking here since Friday. I don't know what it is. Congrats to the straightest man of G&G, which is not saying much, but still true. It is not saying much. We had a weird discussion about women watching gay porn on the last stream that I think Chikara started. So thank you for the super chat. A bucket of semen. Not in Tim Wall's stomach, but instead in the chat. Gives 20 memberships. You guys are out of fucking control. Wait, hold the fuck up. What is going on here? How did I miss this one? Bucket of thank you, a bucket of semen, for 20 gifted memberships. Holy shit. And then press tilde. After already gifting 20, just gifted 50. 50 fucking memberships. That's $250. I'm going to wear this applause button out like Gary. I need to replace this shit before it's all said and done. I don't know what the fuck it say. 50 more members in the chat thanks to Press Tilde. You know, I'm a big supporter of Latinas. So I appreciate the Spanish representation in the chat. Thank you very much, Press Tilde. That is awesome. That is awesome. Dan Vask is also here. Dan Vask, listen, he's very fucking successful. He's about to have his biggest hit yet when he puts out Gary's song. 20 gifted memberships. Now, I don't know if it's Brazilian. I don't know if it's American. I don't care. That's like $100 from Dan Vask. Thank you, Dan. Dan the man. Hell yes. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. The best is that I'm from Poland. Well, there you go. My bad. Still, I appreciate the representation provided. Okay? Appreciate the representation provided. CJ, my man CJ for 20. Congrats, Ryan. I've been out of the loop. Any updates on Sean Levy, Taika Waititi, Favreau, Filoni, Mangold, Jenkins, Obey Chinoy's Star Wars movies? For most of them, I would say nothing really too much to talk about. Now, the Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni Mandalorian and Grogu movie, because they're doing that together, that is shooting right now. They previewed a little bit of footage at D23, which is not available to the public. They'll copyright strike or copyright block it at the very least if you do put it out there, because it was just D23 exclusive. That's currently filming. Filoni's will probably set to start filming, after that at some point. I think the next one, honestly, I think the next one that will hit like the ground running is the Charmin Obaid-Chinoy one. I know everyone wants to pretend like that's canceled. As of right now, it sounds like it is going to happen. And I, for one, can't wait. It's going to be a massive shit show. Sean Levy is in the process of writing his still. He recently talked about that, and he was a little bit critical of Lucasfilm for doing too much stuff in the same era, in the same time frame, trying to force so much shit in. So that was an interesting perspective from Sean Levy. Mangold, Patty Jenkins, Taika Waititi. I haven't heard shit about those lately. Andre CR, Ryan was groomed 5 years ago at a gay bar. It was not a gay bar, but maybe they groomed me for YouTube. I could, if everything falls apart for me and I want to turn into one of these like fucking clout hunting goblins or whatever, I guess I could do that. Put out a exposed. I was groomed by Jeremy and Gary. I could do that. It's always a possibility. I'm just glad it's there if I need it. Mark of Reality with a $50 super chat. Thank you very much. A 50 from Mark of Reality. What does Disney World have that Universal doesn't? Princesses with hairy shoulders and deep voices. Plus, I've always wanted to send you a 50. Thank you. Yeah. Listen, I'm not a Disney guy. I think all of you guys know that. I'm not much of a theme park person in general. I go to Universal every now and then, and I enjoy Universal. I am actually excited for Epic Universe, for something new like that, especially the Harry Potter world. The Nintendo world's probably going to be cool. I don't know if it's going to be like my favorite because I'm not a big Nintendo guy either. How to Train Your Dragon World looks cool. So I'm excited for Epic Universe for sure. But yeah, I can't imagine that a family, you take your little girl to Disney, you want her to dress as a princess, and she gets greeted by some fucking freak, some dude in a dress, a bearded dude in a dress who's supposed to give your daughter a princess makeover. Fuck that shit. Fuck out of here with that. Come on. No, thank you. Darth Gorbag for 777. I'm sure the current zeitgeist of superhero films was a big part of Deadpool Wolverine's success. Had it come out in 2018 or even 2021, it still would have done well, but not likely a billion. I don't know. Like, we're living in a world where Captain Marvel made a billion. It was released in 2019. It made a billion, I think, very strategically because you were told the cliffhanger for, at that point, the biggest superhero movie of all time, one of the biggest movies of all time, period, in Infinity War. The cliffhanger was Captain Marvel. And you were told that this is going to be very important to Endgame, which would go on to be the biggest movie of all time before it's dethroned again by Avatar, and certainly the biggest superhero movie of all time. So, a lot of these movies did benefit from the health of the MCU. So I don't know what the reaction would have been if this had been released then. Obviously, like, Deadpool movies themselves, Deadpool 2016, Deadpool 2018, both of them made around $800 million. I think if they had been full of characters from the MCU instead of, like, really not a whole lot of connection other than the little tiny cameo you saw with the door closing in was that Deadpool 2 or whatever. I actually think they would have potentially done a billion, but that's one man's opinion. Just one single man. And that man is me. All right. I'm lost. Should we talk about something? Guy, I appreciate all the super chats, and I appreciate appreciate all the support and the love and the memberships and all that stuff. You guys are crazy. That was X-Men characters, not MCU. I wasn't saying that those were MCU characters. I was just saying, like, and really no cameos of any type. I meant kind of in general. There's not a lot of connection to the X-Men movies in that you're really like, they even make fun of it, right? Oh, we didn't have the budget for this guy. We didn't have the budget for that guy. I think if they were connected to the MCU, they would have been bigger. Just my opinion. Should we talk about Mark Hamill? I think we should. I think we should. This is what I mean. My hair gets fucking poofy. I lay down on it. The fuck? What is going on with you? Is Poland on fire or something? You're just giving all your money away? Press tilde just dumped another 50 fucking gifted memberships in the chat. $50. That's another $250. You crazy son bitch. I do have some Polish in my heritage. We went over my ancestry, if you guys remember. I think I showed you guys my ancestry results. I do have some. But fucking thank you, Press Tilde. And I know I've got a couple other member chats and super chats and gifts to catch up on. I will do that. I will do that. But I have to talk about this man for a second right here. This man, Mark Hamill. How do we even start this? How do we even start this poor, pathetic, sad sack of a man? This video. It's hard to believe that this is real, but this is actually a thing that just went down at Chicago Fan Expo. We've seen Hollywood actors get absolutely unhinged over the last few years when it comes to political statements. Now, certainly, a lot of people in Hollywood aren't probably going to have the politics that I have, but it's a little bit different when it's people out there that are currently attached to a project that seem to continue to want to alienate half of the people in the United States of America. And Mark Hamill absolutely falls into that category. He, for the past several years, really ever since Trump got in office, has been melting down consistently on social media. It's one thing to attack, a political person you don't like, but you go after fans. But when you go after supporters of that person and you basically say, hey, if you believe this, if you support this guy, I don't want you to be a fucking Star Wars fan. That's a little bit different story. And that feels like the energy Mark Hamill has had recently. So when this story started coming out on Friday, I wanted to be, I probably thought it was real. I wanted to say, you know what? This is probably a real thing because Mark Hamill is just this big of a piece of shit. Mark Hamill to fans at Fan Expo Chicago. May the force be with you. Unless you're MAGA, then you can go force yourself. I thought, wow, Mark Hamill, a new low for him in front of people that want him to talk about Star Wars. He's sitting there and basically saying to half the people in the country, go fuck yourself. I don't want you to be a fan. And we saw these stories, these tweets everywhere. May the force be with you, lest you're MAGA, then you can force yourself from Agents of Fandom. We see it from One Take News. And you even started to see an article or two roll out. Then you can go force yourself. Mark Hamill expresses hatred for Donald Trump. But I was still questioning it because even though I had no doubt in my mind that Mark Hamill potentially could say this with the unhinged shit that he said in the past, I still thought I haven't seen any video. And if I haven't seen any video of it, it's just people tweeting. It could be a fake story. And as much as I despise Mark Hamill, maybe this is the reality. Maybe this is a story that got spun out of control. And, so I went and I looked at the end of the panel because some people said it was the end of the panel. I said, well, let's see what he says here.
Thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I can't be more sincere. I love you. You are part of the Star Wars family, and you always will be. So may the force be with you all. And good night. Thank you so much.
Well, I thought to myself, well, that's interesting. He said may the force be with you. He didn't say all that other stuff. So maybe this is just a bullshit story. Was I actually going to have to go out there and defend Mark fucking Hamill? Well, then I decided I needed to do a little more research because a lot of people are still saying this. And this is the one that changed my mind from Andy IM. My daughter and her friends went to Fan Expo Chicago because her friend's mother is a fan. They listened to Mark Hamill speak. At the end of his speech, he said, may the force be with you. But if you're MAGA, go force yourself. What is wrong with this man? And that's the kind of thing, end of the speech. That didn't make sense. I decided to watch the entire fucking panel. And you know what? I shouldn't have even thought about defending Mark Hamill for a moment. I'm glad I verified it, but this is absolutely what he fucking said. Listen to this man.
The Conversation, the Francis Ford Coppola film, and he shows up and he's just, come on, too cool for school, right? And I immediately, I think George casts people that are so close to what he wants, he doesn't really have to,
This is him. He's talking about Harrison Ford, right? He's talking about different actors and specifically talking about Harrison Ford.
Deeply analyze and he doesn't want to hear backstory and motivation. That's not his thing. He comes alive in the editing room. But like I say, Harrison comes on and I'm just like, instant. I just idolized him. I think he's so cool. He's so, devil may care, doesn't give a heck. Hey, I don't work blue. I said that before, I say, may the force be with you. Unless you're MAGA, then you can go force yourself.
Now, is this surprising to me that in Chicago that, some people cheered when he said something like that? Not necessarily. But just imagine, with about half the country supportive of Donald Trump, you have fans that are in this room that want to hear Mark Hamill talk about Star Wars, maybe talk about Batman the Animated Series, maybe talk about this stuff. And you hear from this dude who goes and says all this bullshit on social media, whatever, but says, may the force be with you. Unless you're MAGA, then go force yourself. This guy, to some people, is still a hero. I don't exactly know why that would still be for some people, but he absolutely is. For some people, he is. And this is what he decides to do. He even says, I wasn't supposed to get political here.
I like that phrase because it sounds dirty, but it's not. And hey, I don't wear blue. And I promise I wouldn't bring up politics. I won't tell you how to vote, but I do hope you're all voting.
I wasn't supposed to talk about politics, but I'm not going to tell you how to vote. I just, bashed an entire half of the country. Mark Hamill, this is such a perfect example, right? You have people like Mark Hamill that are still currently employed at Lucasfilm. He's doing a Lego Star Wars project that not only is he voice acting, he's also a producer or something of some sort. Yet Gina Carano gets fired for her political opinion. But Mark Hamill's allowed to go out there. And obviously, he's fucking joking around. And I agree, he's joking around. But this is a dude. These are your fans. They're there to talk about Star Wars. And you can't help but make it political. And essentially let a lot of people in that let a lot of people in that room know that, if you vote for this guy, go fuck yourself. That's basically what Mark Hamill is saying. No room in the Star Wars fandom for you if you don't see my way politically. Just an absolute piece of shit. And I'm glad I did the digging because I thought I was going to have to defend this man. Thank God I do not. Mark Hamill, complete and total piece of shit. So there it is. I just sit through a lot of that fucking panel, which normally I would not like to. Oh, Mark. Oh, Mark. Kind of fucking dumb. But that's Mark Hamill. That's who he's been for a long time. I just didn't think he was going to do it at a... I just didn't think... I didn't think he would have the fucking gall to do it, I guess, at a Star Wars fan event like that. And to me, I don't expect people in public or celebrities or whatever, I don't expect them not to have political opinions or not to talk about politics on their Twitter or whatever. I think in the current stage of the world, I think that's kind of to be expected. But I do think there's a very hard line when it's you're attaching that to what you're in for that company, right? You're attaching that to Star Wars. Same with Rachel Zegler, right? Rachel Zegler's Free Palestine tweet was attached to her promotion for Snow White. And if you're going to allow one side to do these things, right? If that's your policy at Disney, if you're going to allow people to make political statements, whether it's online, whatever, that are actually attached to the promotion of your shit, you got to have it both ways, or not just both, but all different political opinions. And clearly that's not the case. And it's just absolute bullshit. Oh, Marky Mark. Bobo Yogi for 5. Ryan, we know you're not a fig. We also know that your hair identifies differently. When will you let that tribble on your head speak to us? Never. Never. I don't think I'm ever going to change the cut either. It's just going to get shorter or longer. Cole Hauser for 24 months. Congrats to my Rigger Ryan. Did you see they Wakanda Cyrax from Mortal Kombat? Yeah, Cyrax is from Africa. What a joke. Love you, bro. 199 praise Ara. I'm not some big Mortal Kombat lore dude, so I don't know. I don't know. Andre C28 for 10. Congratulations, Ryan. I've seen a video called It's a Woke World After All. I cannot say I've seen that. Can't say I've seen it, Andre, but thank you. Is it shit on Disney or something? It's obviously a parody. It's a Small World, but Butt Crack Media. Hail Ryan, congrats on 5 years. Thank you very much. Half a fucking decade on YouTube. Come a long way. So is the beard. Well, the beard actually came a long way, and then I fucking decided I'm keeping it like this. I like this length. I really enjoyed like growing the beard out though for a while, especially when you're in the military and you have to shave all the like every fucking day and all that shit. To just let it go and let it grow for a while. I was totally down with that, but it looked like a fucking mess. So I got some good advice from somebody. They're like, hey, you really need to trim that down. And I took that advice, luckily. Don't know if that person actually likes it or not, but hey. Golden Nuggets for £5. Well done for 5 years. I'm on 4 years, but health stuff got in the way. Can't even get past 50 subs, man. I'm bad at this. Congrats anyway. You work hard. Well, what are you making? Are you putting out consistent content? You know, what are your thumbnails like? It's all that. You gotta make your way. You gotta figure it out. It took me a while to find the right method. Darth Race 5. Have you talked to Gina, Jay about Gina at Chicago event? Did she have a run-in with Hamill? I haven't heard anything. I don't know. Not sure. Wishful Wizard for 5. Happy 5th year anniversary, Ryan. My source told me Gladiator 2 will have an all-urban rap soundtrack. I don't think that'll be true. I think the soundtrack will probably be awesome. But, yeah, I don't know if it was the best choice for a trailer. Don't know about that. I don't know. The Chosen One gives 5 gifted memberships. Thank you very much, Chosen One. We have had a lot of gifted memberships on the stream. 180 gifted memberships so far on this stream. Rent space on your massive forehead, Ryan. I'm not gonna. Hey, if the right person came along, hey, if you're looking to advertise, fucking come to the channel. I'll fucking, if it works, if I think it makes sense, I'll do it. When it comes to my forehead, it would probably need to be something that was very lucrative and also something that made sense. But I'm not saying we couldn't make a deal. Premium real estate. Just saying. Congrats on 5 years from my man, Bruce. Thank you very much, Bruce. King's Advisors. What's up, Kings? Member for 13 months. What's up, man? Curious to hear if you think the Terminator anime will shed light on the Aegon show. I'll be good, or will be good, as they're written by the same guy. I actually had no idea that was the case. So I don't know. Obviously, 2 different mediums, and it might be easy to say good writers are good writers, but I don't know. Going into 2 universes that are pre-established already, I guess there's a similarity there, but maybe it will certainly tell us something. If it's good, it doesn't mean the Aegon show will be good. If it's bad, doesn't mean the Aegon show will be bad, but it gives us more information. I hope the Aegon show is fucking badass, dude. I hope it's fucking badass. Where are we here? Mad About Hatter with 5 gifted memberships. Another set of gifted memberships. Thank you, Mad About Hatter. You guys are fucking crazy. Jackson Cagle for 2. Hail Ryan in chat. Thanks, Jackson. David Wright for 5. I passed my check ride and got my pilot's license on Friday. Greatest day of my life. Please don't pull a Jeremy and leave FNT. Well, listen, Jeremy's not gone from FNT, but he's not going to be there every single week or whatever. But he's not gone. If he's not traveling and if he's not fucking like currently in something, he'll be there. He'll probably be there next week, I imagine. He's not gone. Az is gone. R.I.P. Az. He's dead. But no, I'm not leaving FNT. Not leaving FNT. I really like what we've kind of grown there and how the show's taken off, and it's crazy. So especially now that we're kind of entering this different era, we're trying to structure. Thank God, right? I've been asking for like more structure on that show for a while, and we are trying to structure that a little more because we had been going about 3 hours and 15 minutes on YouTube as it was. Like, that's kind of what we got it down to over the past year or so. So when we were looking at the Rumble deal, it just kind of like made sense. Exclusive Rumble hour, do 3 hours on YouTube like we've been doing anyway, and then an extra bonus hour on Rumble, and it's worked out. Worked out really well. I didn't say this one. Sailor Mercury for 2. Screw Mark Hamill. Anakin is greater than Luke. Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, if you're looking for like political opinions, I'm pretty sure Hayden Christensen like supports Justin Trudeau and everything. But there's a big difference between your political opinion and being like Mark Hamill and melting down all the time while representing a company, while promoting that thing. BS for 5. I don't watch games. I don't play movies. Did you see the original rocket firing Boba Fett broke the record, sold for 1.3 million? Did that sell? I've seen like YouTube videos and even documentaries before talking about that shit, about that specific rocket firing Boba Fett. But that's crazy. That is crazy. Press tilde. Is your fucking like button stuck? Is there something wrong with your screen? Is it broken? It just keeps buying more gifted memberships? Because he just gives another $50 and another 10 gifted memberships. You crazy bastard. And holy shit, are you serious? Over on PayPal, we just got $100 dono. 100 from Deeds, Minnesota. You see her over in the Rumble chat a lot. Deeds, Minnesota with $100 over there. Congrats on 5 years. I missed the first couple years, but look forward to the next 5. Hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you very much, Deeds, Minnesota. You are awesome. Thank you so much. That is over on PayPal. What am I supposed to say? You guys are crazy today. Y'all are insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain. John Getz with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, John Getz. It's another $25, another 5 memberships. Are we up to almost 200? We're at 195. 195 gifted memberships. Jesus. That might be normal for a fucking Cobra cast or a Tuesday Night's Main Event or whatever. Not over here on my channel. So I appreciate you guys. You're awesome. Thank y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. I said that one. The Bob That God Made Mad for 5. Reread Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic comics recently. Nice to enjoy a good Star Wars story. I hope Disney never touches Knights of the Old Republic. Me too, but it's only a matter of time. It's such a beloved thing. It's only a matter of time till they rape and pillage it. You know what's going to happen. Fuck them. The Bastards Network for 2. Mark Hamill's become a real-life Joker. A clown. But that's true. Goblin Cox for 2. Jay inspired my name change. Did Jay say he was Goblin Cox the other day or something? What's that all about? That's weird. The Wolf from the Heart. Congrats on 5 years. Hashtag rescue Dave Filoni's dog. Too late for that pup. I've been trying for 5 years. It's too late by now. That one guy says congrats on 5 years. Thank you, that one guy. I appreciate it. And TD, happy 5-year anniversary, Ryan. You keep it real and say what you think, no matter if others like it. I appreciate that. To many more years to come. Yes. And I think I kind of just want to drink. And maybe that'll help my headache. I don't know. Maybe I've got like a fucking blood clot or some fucking shit in my brain. I don't know. Maybe I need to thin my blood a little bit. There you go. Little bit of Basil Hayden's. It's always good. All right. There we go. And also, big shout out to the gentleman that sent me this glass like maybe a year ago or something. Fucking use them all the time. It's got a 45 in there too. Bottoms up. Thank you guys for 5 fucking years of being here on YouTube. It's pretty crazy. And we're still going. We haven't been canceled yet. So, or demonetized. Basil Hayden is good, like to me, because usually you can go in and if they're on sale, sometimes you can find them for like $35. But 750 milliliter of Basil Hayden, I'm $39.99 is like usually what they are. Pretty fucking good for it's definitely like a step up from most of them that you can get at that level. So I like it. If anybody's looking for one. Press tilde says you keep streaming even though the world's ending. Yes, I do. I do indeed. I think we'll keep the world from ending. That's what we'll try to do. Attempt, at least. Don't eat the yellow snow. Snow White for China. I don't know. Marker reality for 5. I know you got a lot on your plate, but I hope you go on Valiant Renegade for at least a little bit. Maybe share your Mark Hamill thoughts. I might. It depends. Like I said, I typically have a kind of a routine that I do after the stream, but if I do have any time and they're still going, I'll think about popping in there. I appreciate him coming over and sending support. Slade Lawton, congrats on 5 years. I continue to hold false hope that Disney won't pillage and ruin more of the Star Wars EU. Also, fuck Dave Filoni and 08 TCW. A man after my own heart right there. Yes. The man Dom brings us up to 200 gifted memberships on the stream with 5 more. Thank you, buddy. Dom, always a Chad in the chat. And then BS, now that Boba just sold yesterday, I have over 1,300 Transformers trying to sell. Most are mint. Advice? I'm not the guy for that. And yeah, I wasn't I wasn't saying that I knew it like it sold a while ago. I'm just saying like I'm aware of the toy itself and how valuable it is. I'm not like a retro collector or whatever. I have no idea who you should go to get it graded or to get an estimate on it. I don't fucking know. I don't know. I wish I could tell you, but I don't. Maybe Jeremy has some ideas, but he probably doesn't really either. He'd probably just take it into a vintage toy shop. That's my guess. Are you always streaming this hour on Sundays? I'm not always able to catch the stream, so maybe it's a matter of notifications. I typically make sure I set up my notifications to make sure that if you do have notifications on for this channel, that you will get a notification every single Sunday. I am always live around this time. Sometimes it's 5 Eastern. Sometimes it's 5:30 Eastern, which obviously I don't know what time you're on in Poland. Probably it's like 6 hours ahead of me or something. But yeah, every single Sunday I'm on this time. Basil, not Basil Hayden. No, not Basil. Basil. How'd you get that Trader's Beaver in a bottle? God, have you guys seen some of the fucking insane, retarded cope about Acolyte Season 2? Like, Eckhart's Ladder made a post, and I've been watching Eckhart's Ladder for a long time. We have very, probably diametrically opposed political viewpoints. But I enjoy listening to him talk about Star Wars a lot. I think he's got a ton of knowledge on Star Wars. So I've always watched his channel. And he didn't hate Acolyte as much as I did, but he had a lot of criticisms for it, right? And he just simply put out a tweet that it's like, no, that there shouldn't be an Acolyte 2, right? It wasn't good enough quality and nobody watched it. There's no reason to spend money on that and just do more damage to the brand and, waste an opportunity to potentially actually get something that might be good. And all of a sudden, he had all of these people just hammering him, like the pronouns and bios kind of woke Star Wars fans crowd, just fucking hammering him, calling him a racist, like this and that. It's like, bro, fucking wild. When somebody like that gets called that simply for not liking your dog shit, kind of tells you where we're at right now. Kind of tells you where we're at. Emilio, congrats, Ryan. Thank you, Emilio. Member for 9 months. Atomic Patriot for 22. I'm sick and it fucking sucks. I roasted Gary and I'm proud. Ryan, I just want to hear you trash on Disney. Well, we're going to trash on Snow White a little later. right now, we need to make some good news, right? Because everyone says that I fucking never bring any good news. It's always bad. I give news the way I see it, and news that's interested me. But when it does come to Disney, it is undeniable. You cannot deny some of the successes that they've had this year. Hasn't done much to help people's opinion on where this company's going when you take a look at the stock price and when you take a look at other things. But you can't say that Deadpool and Wolverine has not been a massive fucking success. We got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. I.B. Rebecca, hello from Wales. Hello from America. I know another Welsh person. I know of what is exactly one Welsh person. And he's a YouTuber. I don't know if there's any others out there. I don't know how big it is. Maybe it's just you two. I don't know how many people are Welsh, but hello. I have a little bit of when you look at my ancestry, I have a little bit of Welsh in there somewhere. I came very close to saying I have a little Welsh in me, but I was like, that probably wouldn't play well. That probably is not the right phrase to use. So I decided against it. All right, we got to talk about this. In the months leading up to Deadpool and Wolverine, it was clear that there was a ton of hype around the movie, but with it being R-rated, there were a lot of questions on what it would do at the box office, especially with some recent disappointments from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Well, we know now that it was a massive hit. Opening weekend broke a bunch of records and continued breaking records throughout the past several weeks. Well, finally, it's been taken out of the top spot of the box office by the opening weekend for Alien Romulus, but it had a massive achievement along the way. Ryan Reynolds tweeted this out to celebrate that Deadpool and Wolverine has officially become the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time, ahead of Joker. Now, if we did the math, we wanted to adjust for inflation based on what 2019 was, ticket prices, and just general inflation, stuff like that, I still think Joker would probably technically have it beat. But we're just talking about hard numbers here. We're talking about what are the box office results. And regardless, Deadpool and Wolverine is a massive fucking success, sitting at $1.1 billion for an R-rated movie. Now, I stated, I enjoyed the movie. I didn't think that it's like, oh, what a great, compelling, emotional story that I went on. No, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. You got to see a lot of characters you care about, and you got to laugh along the way. And I don't think it changes too much for the fate of the MCU going forward. Other announcements they've made recently, like the fact they're scrapping Kang, Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom, all that stuff. Maybe they will change things. Maybe they can get back to a little bit of the MCU at old. All of that remains to be seen. However, this specific achievement is fucking big. It really is. Obviously, the first two Deadpool movies, both massive financial successes as well. Both around $800 million at the box office. And now with the added bonus of being able to do all these different cameos cited in the MCU, the idea that this movie is now $1.1 billion and growing is fucking huge. So it's a massive success for them. And again, if it was like the worst movie ever or a bunch of woke shit, I'd say, well, there it is. I might not be as happy about it, but for me, I enjoyed the movie. Don't think it's the best movie that's been put out. Certainly not the best Deadpool movie. Deadpool 1 still dominates. I thought this was more on the level of Deadpool 2, but a fun, entertaining trip to the theater, which that's all people are looking for nowadays, it seems. That's what they got from Deadpool and Wolverine, and it is doing huge numbers, has finally broken every single R-rated record imaginable. Maybe Joker 2 will have something to say about that later, but I have my doubts about Joker 2. I'm not necessarily looking forward to it. I don't think that movie needed a sequel, but maybe, just maybe, it can recreate some of the magic. One thing that should be stated is that it's still so impressive what Joker did, because that movie was like a $50 or $60 million budget compared to the $200 million plus for Deadpool and Wolverine. Either way you slice it, despite all the failures we've seen from Marvel and Disney over the last few years, this one definitely you have to mark down as a massive success. Two white guys rescue the MCU. They did. They did. And they're hoping one more will, finish the job with that. They're hoping that Robert Downey Jr. can help too. I don't know if you guys seen the trailer for Thunderbolts. I don't think you can officially show it yet. I don't think it's been publicly released, but my God, I don't know who's going to care about that movie. I'm hiccuping. Again. I don't know if I got this or not. I'm not sure, but Emilio with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Emilio. Keeps bumping that number up. Jackson Cagle with a gifted membership. Thank you, Jackson. Alex McCarthy. My man Alex McCarthy becomes a member. Alex, dude, it's been a long time since I've heard from you, man. For you guys that don't know, Alex has had a lot of medical issues the last couple of years. Alex is a dude who used to be in every single Geeks and Gamers stream, regardless of who it was, regardless of whatever we're doing, always tweeting out fucking memes or making silly videos and leaving comments and stuff like that. But Alex has gone through like a very crazy medical journey. Some pretty fucked up stuff happened, and he's had a long fight. So Alex, dude, it's good to see you here, man. I hope you're doing better. I hope you're doing okay. But it's definitely good to see you in the chat. Dawnbreaker. On the Cyrax sector things in Mortal Kombat, they turn to men turned into cyborgs, into strong, independent women who don't need no man. Is that for real? Jesus. What the fuck? AD the Demon Slayer, 5 for 5. What? We shooting? Kobe. BS for $10. I live in the Transformer capital of the world. I was raised on this stuff. Can't drink it anymore. Makes me a legit retard. Thanks for responding to the Transformer question. Jeremy is a fig. I'm not tired of alcohol yet. I'm 35, and I'll drink pretty much anything that has alcohol in it. But I wasn't raised on it though. So maybe that's the difference. But thank you, BS. And yes, Jeremy, thanks for responding to my Transformers question. Jeremy's a fig. Jeremy definitely is. Mad About Hatter for 10. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the gayest of them all? Mirror. That gay cap wearing Alabama, same dress, hoodie overhyped, stereotyped fig of a figget man geek gamer. J. Rami. LOL. Cheers. Thank you, Matt. There's a lot of fucking effort. That's a lot of fucking effort right there. Thank you, Matt About Hatter. Xavier Savior Heart for 5. G'day, Ryan. I'm currently reading King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. It is really good. Also, who's your favorite Harry Potter character? My favorite fucking character. Damn. Yeah, I fucking love those books. I've talked at length about those books. I don't want to pick like an obvious one, right? So, honestly, I think that if I'm looking at like the grand scheme of things, it's hard for me not to say that like I think Lupin is fan fucking tastic, like as a character. He gets introduced a little bit later, obviously, but especially what you see with him and what he goes through with his and Tonk's relationship, and then in 7 and Deathly Hallows where he kind of storms in there and wants to help, and he has that big fucking fight with Harry, and Harry says some really nasty shit to him, and they end up patching things up with the way he dies, the fact that they take care of Teddy. I like Lupin. Lupin's such a great fucking character. I don't know if I'd call him my favorite, but I don't know. I like him though. Blackadder, not I, for 20 pounds. Nicolas Cage for a 3rd Ghost Rider film. If you think that's a bad idea, you're the one that sucks. I would be down. I would be down. I wish that we could have seen Nicolas Cage in Deadpool. Not gonna lie. He's gonna be John Madden or something. Apparently, in a John Madden movie. I didn't want to say any of the big three. I didn't want to say Dumbledore, Snape, or fucking Hagrid. So I picked somebody else. Neville is mine. Neville's all right. What about Vincent Crabbe is my favorite character. Yeah, there you go. Wait, who was it that got fucking arrested? And it was the Crab actor, right? Crab actor arrested. Yeah. He got arrested. I think he got in trouble for like growing weed, and then he got arrested because he was like throwing fucking Molotov cocktails or some shit at a riot. I don't remember, but yes. Vincent Crabbe. Justice for Crabbe. Come on. Raging Rhino for $3.99 with a boom, a fist bump super sticker. Thank you, Raging Rhino. Appreciate it, man. Kingsley? Yeah, Kingsley's great. I just thought you to say Snape is your favorite character. I really love Snape, and I like Snape in the books. Honestly, I like Snape in the books a lot more than the movie. But just because he's in the movie, they're not able to do. There's not enough time, I think, for all the context surrounding it. It's like, yes, he did like very brave and very heroic things, but he did a lot of fucked up things. You know, Snape is not the. It's not like this pure absolute fucking redemption that we get in the movie. Even in the scene where, you know, Dumbledore is confronting him about, you know, after all this time, you've grown feelings for the boy, you know, Snape does his Patronus and he shows the dough and everything. In the book, he snaps like viciously for him. You know, like, no, I fucking would never have feelings for Harry Potter. In the movie, I feel like he gets more of a pass for the kind of person he is in the movie than he does in the book. You know, ultimately, he's such like a complex, convoluted character because he's spent his entire, you know, most of his adult life doing these things and risking danger to protect Lily Potter's son. Well, Lily Evans, right? Because he fucking hates the names of Lily Potter. Lily Evans' son, while at the same time trying to make life for James Potter's son as miserable as he fucking can. So it's a very complex character. I love Snape. I do. I just didn't want to go into like I didn't want to give like an obvious answer. I figured we'll do a different one. Snape was a simp. Like Snape was, you know, like fucking in love with Lily Evans. Even to the point where she had got really fucking rejected that in him, he was still like desperately fucking in love. And another thing that we skip over that doesn't, I think, we don't see in the movie that you do see in the book. Initially, Snape, when he finds out like this prophecy and everything, he doesn't go try to save Harry's life. He goes to try to save Lily's life. And he basically bargains with Voldemort and is like, hey, just kill the husband and the boy. You can fucking kill them. I don't care. Just don't kill Lily. And Dumbledore kind of roasts him for that in the book. Really, really makes him feel like shit for the kind of person he is for being willing to let her son die just to save her for him. So we didn't get enough context around kind of what a piece of shit Snape actually is in the books. Anyway, that's weird. How did you hear what it sounds like in the book? Well, you can listen to the audio book, but also, I mean, you can just tell, I guess. I don't know. Can't you? Can't you tell the way things sound from the way you read books? Supreme Chancellor Trump for $3 on Streamlabs says, the corrupt and destructive droid industry went completely unchecked by creepy Sheev, and now we have a war because of it. 10 years he's been chancellor. What has he done? His planet got invaded, and Sheep Newt is still free. Total loser. I do not do a good Trump impression. Of all the impressions I had the capability to do, Trump is not one of them. It's not good. It ain't good. Over on Streamlabs as well, I think we had another one pop in, or at least I got an email about it. Darth Gorebag for 1515 says, henceforth he shall be known as Tard Hamill. Also, looking forward to your 10-year anniversary. Bro, yeah, my 10-year anniversary, that's going to be pretty fucking crazy. I'll be 40 years old. We'll still be talking about Kathleen Kennedy. And yeah, I'll be doing the same Sunday fucking stream. I'm like Mahler, I can't read. Yeah, Mahler cannot actually read a book. I don't know if you guys are aware of that. He's physically incapable of actually reading a book. So it's not really his fault. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. Should we go on a Snow White adventure? Let me catch up on the Rumble chats, and then we will. What is this? Zendo Deb for $15. If it wasn't for the green app, I couldn't see you. YouTube hates me. Well, I don't know why that is, but I'm sorry. I'm glad you're in both places, Zendo Deb. And then B Barrett for 2. The only people who wear Crocs all have monkeypox. Glad I caught you live. Congrats on 5 years. Thank you. Thank you very much, B Barrett. Yeah, Crocs are I don't think it's a dude thing. I just don't. It's a girl thing, and it's like an old lady thing, and they can like put little trinkets or whatever in like the little holes in the Crocs. I've never understood it. Weird. Rachel Zegler, help me out. It's weird. Weird. Where the fuck did I go? PM5K Blast. 47 months. Been a while since I heard your Josiah impersonation. He's been popping up my feed a lot lately for some reason. Hail. Well, that's good for Josiah. If he's popping up in your feed, that's a good thing. He's getting recommended. Gator McCluskey for 5. And by the way, PM5K Blast is a member for almost 4 years. So of the 5 years I've been on YouTube, he's been a member almost 4 of them. I miss the days when men could be men in films. Clint Eastwood, Jack Nicholson, and my favorite, Burt Reynolds. Who are the men in movies today? I don't know. I think you had, a lot of people like Glenn Powell in Twisters. I mean, they liked him in Top Gun as well, but they liked him in the Sydney Sweeney movie, which I forget the name of. They liked him in Twisters. Maybe he can be that guy going forward. I think that Tom Cruise is, I'm not going to say that like Ethan Hunt is like, overly like masculine, whatever. But I think like he's a dude. He's a fucking heroic dude. He can be a man in movies. Tom Cruise, a fucking badass. Regardless of how insane Tom Cruise actually is, the stuff he does during his stunts are fucking nuts. I know there's stunt people out there that do that for a living and don't get paid nearly as much as Tom Cruise. But Tom Cruise like demands to do virtually all of those things that those people are doing. When he doesn't have to. He really doesn't. Nobody else does the kind of stunt work that Tom Cruise does. Check out the UK band Nicolas Cage Against the Machine. I went to see them again. Vampire's Kiss is amazing. It's funny. Movies America for 5. Was gonna ask you if you're having five guys for your 5 years, but I thought that wouldn't sound right. Check your DMs for my message, playa. Check my DMs. Movies, America. I see you. Okay, I see you in the message request there. Yeah, I will. I'll get back to you about that. Movies, America. Thank you for sending the invite. John Getz just got to 1.99 subs on YouTube. You killed it on FNT this week. I showed that Kamala tangent. You went on to my folks and they were crying, laughing. Yeah, it was some days you just got it. And there was a lot of random opportunities for one-liners on last week's FNT. So I do what I can. Thanks, John. And do you want to stay at 199? Are you that into the 199 meme, or should we boost you up? Go sub to John, get him to 2K subs. John Gets Gaming. TJ, hail Ryan, congrats on half a decade with your channel. Been watching you close to 4 years, and holy shit, almost 3 years as a member. Time flies. It really does, TJ. It does. Dawnbreaker for Vibe. I'll die on this hill. How to Train Your Dragon is one of the best trilogies of all time. One big reason because it aged along with its audience. You know, I really like the first How to Train Your Dragon, and I like How to Train Your Dragon 2. I don't know if I remember much from 3. Is that the one with his mom, or is his mom in 2? I do not like some of the casting for the live action, but I really do like the animated. The Hidden World. So that's the one with the girl toothless, yeah. Let's see. A year after becoming chieftain. Is that's the one with his fucking mom, right? And her dragon, they fly. Maybe I'm fucking retarded. I don't remember. NTR uncle. Personally, I can't relate to Snape. I'd be down to clown that Potter puss anytime, especially after she was hitched. I'd give Harry a dad to look up to. You mean Lily Evans? Yeah. I doubt he would have let her keep the last name, but be down to clown that Potter puss anytime, especially after she was hitched. I imagine Lily Evans is pretty hot. I imagine she was. Hopefully we'll get to see a lot more of Lily Evans in the Harry Potter the Harry Potter Max series. It has potential to be a disaster. I fucking hope it's amazing. I hope it's amazing. And I'll hope it's amazing until the casting is going to tell me a lot. As soon as they cast, if they cast Black Hermione, I'm going to be like, nah. Now, if they cast the entire Weasley family black, I'm just going to laugh. And I'm going to do a video about HBO or Warner Brothers leaning into racial stereotypes by making the poorest family in the Wizarding world all black. But the Hermione one, let's just be honest. We all know this. Despite the fucking play, The Cursed Child, which is an abomination and horrible and horrific and terrible, we all know that Hermione is not black. Hermione's white. And all the official illustrated shit, we know exactly how she looks. She's been described, her pale face, all that stuff. Come on. She ain't black. Anyway, let's get to Snow White, shall we? I got to share the screen because we need audio, I think, for some of these. I think we need some audio. Chris Curran for a month says, damn, didn't get a notification. Who's your favorite Bears player? Right now, you know what? My favorite Bears player, probably Keenan Allen, because I've followed Keenan Allen for a decade with his career with the Chargers. I've met Keenan Allen in person. I have some signed stuff from Keenan Allen, and I'm really excited he's on the team. Maybe, you know what, Caleb Williams? Let's fucking see what you got, bro. Let's see what you got. Anyway. Where am I? Here we go. Let's get to this absolute fucking nightmare. The backlash against the woke Snow White live action bastardization from Disney just continues to grow. And sometimes when you see these things, when you see this trailer that gets released by Disney, the first official teaser trailer for Snow White starring Rachel Zegler, if you didn't know anything and just came across this on YouTube and you're like, holy shit, what is going on? Nearly 1 million dislikes with just over a week of release for this movie. You might be thinking to yourself, how did all of this happen? How did we get to this point where there's so much backlash for this movie? And it's kind of a long story because it really started over a year ago. And really, when you look at Disney, when you look at all the virtue signaling they've done, when they first announced back in 2021, so really, I guess it starts 3 years ago, back in 2021, when they announced that Rachel Zegler was going to be starring as Latina Snow White, that they were so proud, that they virtue signaled so hard. Same time they said that Halle Bailey was going to be Black Little Mermaid, by the way. A lot of people had questions about the motivations behind that, but, you know, some people said, well, I guess we'll see what happens. Well, now we know what's happened so far. And from the very first leaked images we got on set, there has been massive backlash. Remember this back in July of 2023, when we saw the first thing from the set. And this certainly started getting people wondering, what is this? This looks like trash. What is this? The politically correct companions? Did they just change all the dwarves to look like these people? And that was only worsened when Disney came out and said, no, that's fake. Those aren't real images. And then we're forced to admit that, yes, they're real, but it's a little misleading because they're stand-ins. They're not the actual actors. They're doing some pickup shots, blah, blah, blah. As we found out later on, the dwarves were going to be significantly changed. This isn't exactly what the dwarves are going to look like. The dwarves are CGI and are actually going to be standing behind Snow White. This is a different group of very diverse companions for this movie. But then Rachel Zegler happened. And that really is where the controversy started to take off to the next level. Because Rachel Zegler, very young, very opinionated, and now someone who feels entitled to speak out about anything and everything. Somebody who at a very young age was handed these opportunities. And she decided that she was going to make it all about her and that she did not care what type of backlash came back on Disney while doing that. Rachel Zegler gets viral backlash as comments about Snow White remake resurface. Because after we saw these things and people were questioning what's going on, what exactly are they doing with the Snow White movie? People then discovered what Rachel Zegler herself had said about this movie, and it really rubbed people the wrong way. I think we all remember this one, don't we?
You said you were bringing a modern edge to it on stage. What do you mean by that?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that
she's
is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. And so it's just a really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere.
Young people everywhere. And you know what I realized? I forgot to even pull up the weird one. Extra Rachel Zegler. Now, I know they like to copyright this one, but I think we can get away with it.
Hang out anytime. We're both.
I think we can get away with that. Let's see.
Snow White.
Here we go. Let's pull this right here. Then, of course, we also had this one that let everybody else know. If you didn't get the hint already, it's for a modern audience, okay? It's not all right that she has a love interest, that she wants to get married. It's not okay. She has to be a powerful, strong, independent woman on her own. And if you didn't think that's the way they think, well, there was always this interview.
Your version of Snow White is different, and it's more of a 2022 version of Snow White. What did you mean by that?
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Yeah. Weird.
So, of course, we're not going to do that. That's so weird, right? Who would be looking for true love's kiss? Definitely not my version of Snow White. And of course, we also heard from Rachel Zegler that she was, scared, that she didn't really like it.
I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. Like, I'm being so serious. I watched it once and then I went on the ride in Disney World, which was called Snow White's Scary Adventures. Doesn't sound like something a little kid would like. Was terrified of it. Never revisited Snow White again. So.
Now, of course, that would run contrary to some of the other things she said about like, oh, I loved Snow White as a kid so much. Oh, I love the ride so much, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden, she gets caught in all of these lies that she has stated. And of course, you can look at all of these different interviews. Just look at the ratios for each and every one of these Rachel Zegler interviews. So as a result, and that's not even keeping in mind this part. I forgot all about this one. And that was before the actors' strike. So the actors' strike then happened, and Rachel Zegler, while she couldn't talk about Snow White, she decided to talk about how entitled she was.
If I'm going to stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
That didn't rub people the right way either. So what did Disney do? They decided we need to do some damage control right now. People think that those weird fucks are the dwarves. People hate Rachel Zegler. Let's do some damage control. Let's release our first ever look at our live action Snow White. And they gave us this weird, creepy fucking image. They let everybody know, hey, by the way, we didn't do real dwarves, right? Because we thought that'd be offensive. We did CGI dwarves. You guys love this, right? And it looks creepy as fuck. So that didn't help things either. The backlash only continued to get worse. So finally, they decided, you know what? We need to have Rachel Zegler go out there. We need to have her backtrack on all the things she said. We need to have her, in a position where it's more controlled. We can edit these things. Have her and Halle Bailey there, Black Little Mermaid, Latina Snow White, and they can just talk about how much they love Disney, how much they love all these things, and everything will be perfectly fine. That didn't go over too great for them either, if you look at the ratio here. Then they said, you know what? Disney's like, let's just keep it fucking quiet. This movie's costing us over $300 fucking million. This is going to be a catastrophic flop at the box office. Can you please just shut the fuck up? We're not going to say anything about Snow White for a while. And they didn't. They didn't say a damn thing about Snow White until they debuted the teaser trailer at D23. I'm sure they hoped the backlash had faded. I'm sure they hoped that people had forgotten about all of these things. And you know what? Maybe a few people did. Maybe a few people saw this trailer, the 72,000 that liked it compared to the almost million people who disliked it. Maybe some people saw this trailer and thought, hey, we'll give it a chance. Let's see. That was a long time ago that she said those things. Maybe they've learned. Maybe they're not as retarded anymore. Time will tell. Didn't take very long, did it? For Rachel fucking Zegler to once again show Disney she doesn't give a fuck about if they want her to stay quiet, if they want her to stay out of controversy. She's going to say whatever the fuck she wants. And you know what? Are young, woke actresses in Hollywood going to have liberal opinions? I bet a lot of them fucking are. And that's just to be understood. That's not shocking to me. That shouldn't be shocking to too many people. It's when you decide to attach pretty inflammatory, divisive political rhetoric to your post promoting Snow White that probably makes Disney put their head in their hands and say, when the fuck will this bitch shut up? That's what a lot of people are thinking right now. Because if she had just said, hey, thank you to the fans, that's awesome, that'd be one thing. And she's tweeted Free Palestine before. She's tweeted stuff like this before. That's not shocking for a lot of these young woke actresses. But to attach it to the promotion of your trailer is just fucking retarded. It's going to take it's going to take a lot of people that may have been willing to give it a chance, look past all the controversy, another opportunity. Hey, I'll give it a chance. We'll see what happens. Until you show that you actually haven't learned anything. You don't know how to keep your fucking mouth shut. There's been so many twists and turns, I guess, to the saga over the past year plus that it is hard to remember that all of these things actually went down. And these things, of course, had a timeline of themselves, had a life of their own, these stories in the media, these stories that Disney was forced to respond to. And all along the way, Rachel Zegler was replying snarky ways, clapping back, going after fans and shit like that, trying to play victim over and over and over again. And all Disney wants to do probably is just release this and get it over with, because ultimately the budget's probably going to be well over $350 million, closing in on $400 million. And considering the flop we had at the box office with The Little Mermaid live action just last year, I can't imagine with all of the shit that's going down for Disney and Rachel Zegler and Snow White, I can't imagine this is going to do any better. And it is going to be a multi-$100 million failure for Disney. Felt like I talked a long time. Do you know Rachel Zegler had a YouTube channel? Flashcast had a look at it. Yeah, that's how she was. I believe that's how she was discovered, actually. She has a YouTube channel where she posts, like, she did covers of songs and stuff like that for a long, long time. And I believe that's how she was discovered. I may be wrong. But yeah, I've known about that for forever. I think I did a video because at one point there was a news article going around that Rachel Zegler had released a video on YouTube going over the Snow White backlash. But the video is actually like before a lot of that shit happened. So I did a video talking about that to try to like disprove a little of fake news out there. God dang. Need another drink. Look at my hair. How'd this happen? I was gyrating so much, my hair got out of place. John Getz over on Rumble. You ever play Hogwarts Legacy? I platinumed it, but it got quite repetitive in the open world. Hogwarts and Hogsmeade area of the map had some really cool details and puzzles. I think Hogwarts Legacy is fun as fuck. It's way too diverse. It doesn't make any fucking sense for 1880s, whenever I think that's when it's set, 1880s UK, to have that many fucking like minorities run around. It makes zero sense, especially when you look at the actual story. Nonsensical. And it's so forced and weird. But the game itself, I had a lot of fun with it. I really enjoyed Hogwarts Legacy, and you can just kind of get sucked in that game for hours in the world with the music, exploring the castle and Hogsmeade and all these different things. I enjoyed the hell out of it. And then John, for $1, says, kids like scary stuff. Little girls like love stories. Everyone enjoys a well-written and beautiful animated movie. So you're right. It doesn't seem like a 2024 movie, Rachel, because it was good. Again, shout out to everybody watching on Rumble, on YouTube, on Facebook, or if you're over there on Locals. I see green-haired anti-liberal weighing in on How to Train Your Dragon. Says that How to Train Your Dragon 3 was the worst one. I don't remember that one, which may explain why some people don't think it's good. The mama's in the second one. Okay, that makes sense. Dawnbreaker 5. Hiccup started out as disappointed the chieftain's son who had to save the day and got close to his father because of it. Yeah, because he wasn't the Viking the way that everybody thought he should be. Shit, yeah. He got his fucking leg chopped. Dawnbreaker 5. In the second one, he's going off adventure on his own, thrown into chieftain position when his father died. And in the last one, he had to put his people first and start acting like a chieftain, finding them before a new home and facing a greater threat than before. The third one is the one with like the fucking like massive dragon that they have to fight. Is that one? I don't remember. And throughout all of it, Astrid was being the perfect woman, supporting her man every time, but also criticizing him when it was called for. Hey, there you go. BFSD for 5. If they had real people play the dwarves, Warwick Davis would be a good choice for one of the dwarves. At least they'd have some star power. There ain't that many dwarf actors out there, so they might have regurgitating some of the ones they had from before, but yeah. All right, Ryan, fess up. Who's your favorite Disney princess? Congrats on 5 years of grift. Thank you. My favorite Disney princess. Well, I can't say Jasmine because she's like 15 and that's kind of weird. But I love Aladdin. Like the movie. My favorite Disney princess. I don't fucking know. Ariel's cool. She's a redhead. She wants to be part of the world. I'm not big into fucking Disney princesses. What am I supposed to say? Mulan? Yeah, listen, I love fucking Mulan. I love that fucking movie when it came out. Eddie Murphy as the voice of Mushu. Is that his name? It's a fucking dragon's name. Dragon in Mulan name. Mushu. It is Mushu. Do. Let's get down to business. It is kind of weird though for your favorite Disney princess is someone who pretended to be a dude. Ryan wants to have sex with a fish, confirmed. Yeah, listen, I imagine like fucking there's a big rumor, there's a lot of gossip down there under the sea, a lot of people asking who's seen Ariel's starfish. Like that has to be a thing they talk about. It's not something they can ignore, I don't think. All right, we did that. Rapunzel, she's a baddie. I Tangled, right? That's that movie. Now, those are different because like I think of movies that came out when I was a kid. And I think Mulan came out like 2000, so I was probably like 12 then, which I was like starting to age out a little bit of like the Disney stuff. So when I think of like my favorite Disney movies, I'm thinking of like what I experienced when I was a kid. Tangled came out like fucking 2014 or some shit, right? Tangled released 2010. So still, I was in like I think I was in the Navy, right? When like Tangled came out. So I wasn't paying super close attention. 2010. That's a long ass time ago. Are we talking about movies for 14-year-old girls? Dude, Aladdin is fucking badass. Aladdin's not for 14. I mean, girls can like Aladdin too. Guys can like Aladdin. Aladdin's probably my favorite Disney movie. Like old school fucking animated shit like that. Lion King, probably close second. Yeah. I also loved the old ass Robin Hood movie. Like that was so fucking good. I watched the fuck out of that when I was a kid. Little Black Mermaid, nah. Gotta eat to live, gotta still eat. Tell you all about it when I got the time. One jump ahead of the lawmen. Unicycle Peon for 5. Ryan, did you ever watch Dan Bass cover of the Mulan track? It's insanely good. Yes, I have. It's awesome. It is awesome. I think I got it saved on Spotify. John Getz for $1. Jesus. Shit, you can still titty fucker through, though you better. Hold on. Shit, you can still titty fucker, though you better get those seashells off of there. That gypsy lady from Hunchback is pretty slamming, though. I'm not a big. I didn't really like Hunchback of Notre Dame. I don't care about some retarded, fucked up looking dude. The idea that like he ever had a chance with that chick is so stupid. That's like the most unrealistic thing that's ever happened in a Disney movie. I don't care about Quasimodo's ugly retard ass. I just fucking don't. Go swing on your damn bells, you fucking loser. Bitch should have just fucking jumped off that thing and like made life better for everyone. Charizard, is Megara considered a princess? Hercules the goat? I liked Hercules. Not like my top tier, but I really like Hercules. AD the Demon Slayer, favorite Disney princess? Leia. That don't count. Personally, How to Train Your Dragon is my second favorite trilogy behind Lord of the Rings. Never really liked Star Wars. That's fucking crazy, but I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it, Dawnbreaker. There's going to be a whole world that they open up. There's going to be a whole world that they open up at Epic Universe, which is going to be very, very cool. I'm looking forward to it a lot. I did want to talk about something that not a lot of people may be looking forward to. That not a lot of people may be looking forward to. I don't need to share my whole screen for this because I don't think I need the audio. We can just share this because this is kind of telling. Ubisoft for years has been criticized for the insertion of DEI into their games and, quite frankly, just for the state of the games they've released themselves. And now they have two big budget games that they have a ton riding on that are set to be released throughout the rest of the year. One is coming pretty soon, and that's Star Wars Outlaws. The other is, of course, Assassin's Creed Shadows. And both of them have a ton of controversy surrounding them. And after the most recent quarterly earnings call, where their investors really asked them, hey, it doesn't seem like you guys are too positive about the future of what you're going to do over the next couple of quarters. Are you worried about Star Wars Outlaws? Are you worried about this next entry in the Assassin's Creed franchise? And they did their best to kind of stumble through things and not exactly answer questions while admitting that it's a little bit soft when it comes to pre-orders and what they're expecting. But now we're seeing Ubisoft make a move ahead of the release, maybe trying to cut costs a little bit, maybe because they know that these things aren't going to be too great for them. Who knows? Ahead of Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed Shadows release, Ubisoft lays off 45 employees. Now, 45 employees to Ubisoft, which is a massive company, you know, it's a couple drops in the bucket at the end of the day. And it is telling, though, because Ubisoft has already gone through minimizing and layoffs and things like this recently over the past couple of years. And now they're even making it smaller. They're trying to cut more cost for this company. And it's hard to believe that they're not at least a little bit worried about what's coming next with these two games. Because remember, Star Wars Outlaws, from the moment we first saw this story trailer, we really got to look at this protagonist. There's been a ton of backlash surrounding this. You just look at the ratio, 132,000 dislikes to 41,000 likes. You think about the problems Ubisoft has had in general. You think about the problems Disney Star Wars has had. You combine this with the game that to a lot of people, one, isn't a character they're necessarily interested in, that they decided to uglify compared to what the actual actress looks like. And of course, when it comes to the graphics themselves, they are getting completely and totally destroyed over this. I want to give you a little look. We'll do slow-mo, right? We'll do, let's see, what should we do? We don't need fucking subtitles. Let's do 0.75 speed to slow it down. You don't need the sound for this. I just want you guys to see. This came out like a month ago for them. This is what the game is going to look like, what this demo was. Look at the fucking graphics for this. That looks like a game that was made in 2004 that's being ported onto a Nintendo Switch. That's what the graphics for this thermal detonator look like, but just wait for the explosion. It looks like clip art or something. It legitimately does. And this is the game you're supposed to pay fucking $70 for. Or if you want the extra edition, or if you want access to all the missions, you got to pay even more. It's insane. And that's just Star Wars Outlaws, let alone the other game they have coming out later this year. And of course, that is Assassin's Creed Shadows that we saw Ubisoft virtue signal so fucking hard for. You want to talk about backlash? This is that game. And it's not just here in America. In Japan, people are furious because we've seen the virtue signaling from Ubisoft that they tried to gaslight everyone into believing, oh, we wanted to be very historically accurate with this. We put our best effort forward. well, it doesn't really play out because just in the trailers, you can see they've got Chinese structures instead of Japanese structures. You see they got the wrong font on some of these things. And of course, them trying to gaslight the world that Yasuke was actually a samurai. Yes, it's true. Yasuke was a black man in Japan. He did indeed exist. However, there is no historical evidence that Yasuke was an actual samurai. And in fact, now the one person that wrote the book that everybody cites on this has now been discredited as a fucking fraud, as somebody who went in and changed all of these different references to meet what he was pushing, the lie that he was pushing. It's a fucking joke. And it's sad that people still believe there's any evidence to back up Yasuke being a samurai. He existed. He did. He was kind of seen as an aberration, as entertainment for them. It's not all positive. I don't know why people are bragging about Yasuke being there. However, it is undeniable that there has been, like Star Wars Outlaws, an immense amount of backlash for this game. Over 500,000 dislikes on the premiere trailer. Now, this is still an Assassin's Creed game. I still expect it to sell really, really well. However, it's undeniable that the game that so many people were looking for, right, or forward to, an Assassin's Creed game set in Japan has been something fans have been asking for over a decade now. And of course, Ghost of Tsushima did it way better than Ubisoft is probably going to. But you finally give the fans what they've been asking for, and instead of actually including a Japanese man, you decide we want to go full DEI. We want a non-Japanese perspective into this game. So we're going to go with this gaslit lie that Yasuke was actually a fucking samurai when he never was. It's a nightmare. And I think Ubisoft probably should be very, very worried about what the future holds for the rest of this year, because I'd have to imagine they've got a lot of money tied up in the production of both Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed Shadows. And these two games are now facing more backlash. These probably more than any other game that's out there right now. And they're both Ubisoft games that are still set to release this year. This could end up being very, very bad for them. It's a big franchise in Star Wars, a big franchise in Assassin's Creed. I expect them to sell decently, but how well they're going to sell could very well be impacted by these massive scandals they've had to face along the way. Maybe that's why Ubisoft's doing a little bit of belt tightening before these games release, so they have something to say, hey, guys, we cut costs here. Don't worry, even though these were disappointing sales. We promise we're doing other things to boost profits here at old Ubisoft. Fuck. Yeah, Yasuke was like kept around like a fucking jester would be for entertainment. Like when they met him, they made him take off his clothes and they like made him fucking scrub his skin to prove that it wasn't paint, you know? And people really believe this lie. There's just no evidence that he was a samurai. Because the dude who wrote the book about it, the one book that everybody references, turns out he's a complete and total hack and is now kind of like deleting his internet history. I, Lucifer for 2. How to Train Your Wife, rated R. There you go. The real story of Hunchback is that Frollo kills Esmeralda after she cheats on him, and Quasimodo lays down next to her corpse until he passes away too. Their remains were found together. That's epic level of simpery. I respect it. How long did he like? So he just like got hungry and died? Like he starved himself to death, or was he hurt too? Bro, some days are like that, man. I just want to lay on the couch and hope I never fucking wake up. Don't want to get up. They'll just die. Full Quasimodo. I have more respect for him now. Jesus Davila with a gifted membership. Thank you, Jesus. CJ, 0 interest in Star Wars Outlaws nor Assassin's Creed Shadows. I'll be playing Black Myth Wukong instead. It looks amazing. I do think Black Myth Wukong looks really good. I've thought it looked good like since 4 fucking years ago. Whenever we got that first trailer for it. I thought it looked great. If he lay there, he probably died of exposure. I guess it depends where he was. If he was in the weather or whatever. I don't fucking know. Bro, that is true. Quasimodo probably did fuck her corpse. John Guest just downloaded the Freedom Cry AC game, which has a black protagonist that actually makes sense as the game set in the Caribbean and the character was in Black Flag and Beloved already. Yeah, your quartermaster, God, what's his name? Yeah, that's a DLC that was received very well. What the fuck is his name? Black quartermaster name. In Black Flag. Adewale. Oh, I'm saying it in chat now too. Adewale, yeah. Yeah, and this is the thing when people were trying to come out with these comparisons, they just don't like Yasuke because they don't want to play as a black person. It's like, bro, you had an Assassin's Creed set in Egypt, right? With a protagonist that made sense for Egypt. You then have Black Flag, which is fucking awesome. You have a DLC set with a fucking dude. He was Haitian, right? I think he was Haitian. I might be mistaken, but I think he was Haitian. Fucking, where you play as a Haitian dude in this fucking setting. It makes sense. Doesn't make sense to do this Yasuke shit. It's just cringe. And also gay. Looking forward to see how bad Concord performs in a few days. I predict it be a quiet fizzle. Yeah, I don't know how many people are interested in that for sure. Gabriel Knight 5, how much longer do you think Swartzer has before they shut the servers down? I'm shocked that Star Wars The Old Republic is still going. I really am. I wonder how much money it's making, because I bet it's still making a decent amount of money. I really do. I do think it's still making a decent amount of money. But I can't be sure. Ryan, the Euphrates River's drying up. It's a sign we're living in the last days. Is that true? Euphrates River's drying up. I'm not sure. How do you like your new quarterback? Listen, I like Caleb Williams so far. Again, he was a fucking no-brainer to draft at number 1. A no-brainer. And anybody say anything different is retarded. And I hope it works. I think, listen, 187, my prediction is that Caleb Williams is going to be the best Bears quarterback in history ever. Now, it's not taking anything away from Jim McMahon. I love my man, Jim McMahon. Fucking 85, the 80s Bears teams. Come on. But let's be real. To this point in time, the best quarterback the Bears have ever had is Jay Cutler. And Caleb Williams is going to eclipse that. That's my prediction for Caleb Williams' career. And I think the Bears are going to be solid this year. Sid Luckman was fucking great in his era. Sid Luckman played in the fucking 50s, though. Let's see. Kim Sheedle. Hi, Ryan. I have some newly found time on my hands. Can you pass a message to Jeremy that I can do security for Geeks and Gamers events? Thank you. I don't know if we have any openings, but hey, we'll look into it. We'll look into it. Thank you, Kim Cheadle. Just give me give me your resume. If you've never had any major incidents or whatever, maybe we can hire you. Minnesota myself, but I love the cheese. Ugh, disgusting. I assume you meant a Packers fan. I assume you mean a Packers fan. But that's about it, guys. We've been going for 2 hours. Again, we kind of started off the stream by me saying thank you to you guys for 5 fucking years. All right? 5 fucking years on YouTube. Which is pretty wild and pretty crazy. But I do really appreciate it, especially a lot of the people that tune in just to see me fucking talk. I know that, like, panel streams, obviously more entertaining. I'm on a lot of panel streams all throughout the week. I like to keep these streams just kind of me, and just solo, chill me streams. And I appreciate all the people that decide to come in and spend some time here. Not nearly drunk enough. I'm not trying to get drunk. I just had a drink. That's all. So 5 years has gone by like a flash. Actually, to be honest, the last year has gone by really quickly. But we got at least 5 more years in us. I think we can definitely make it to 10. I think we can definitely make it to 10. I don't think I'm going anywhere anytime soon. We got a lot of shit to do on the channel left. Got a lot of stuff to do on Geeks and Gamers, FNT, all that stuff. My favorite Ryan quote, the internet isn't for everyone. I don't remember saying it, but it does sound like something I would say. The internet is not for everyone. And it seems like all too often the people that are on the internet most are the people that are most damaged by it, by being on the internet, right? Or not cut out for it. The people with pronouns in their bios and trans flags in their names, and a bunch of weird queers like that are just all about their identity politics and shit like that. Like, yeah, you ain't made for the internet. The internet wasn't made for you, and you weren't made for the internet. Here's a good question. Yeah, that's a good question. Do we think that Jay, I'm 5 years on YouTube now. Do we think that when we're next year celebrating 5 years, when I hit, 10 years on YouTube, will Jay be at 100K by then? I think so. I have faith. I believe in Jay. Took him a while, but I think he'll get there. He's going to make so much fucking money on his 100K stream. People are going to be, I knew you could do it, Jay. I knew you could do it. I knew you had it in you. Congrats, Jay. Yeah, that's going to happen. Let's look at his channel. Drunk 3PO. $97.5. All right. 97.5. 2,500 subscribers to 100K. He can do it. He can do it. He'll get there. What month is it? I don't know why I looked at my watch. It does tell me that it's August, but I don't know why I looked at my watch to tell what fucking month it is. But I did for some reason. I think that Jay will pass 100,000 subscribers by November 1st. November 1st. That's what I think. But anyway, I think that's going to do it for me today, guys. I appreciate all the support, a massive support with all the gifted memberships that you guys were putting out there. Thank you very much. I appreciate the hell out of that. And I appreciate people watching, whether it's on Facebook. Again, we just started streaming on Facebook a day or last week. So not too many people over there, but I appreciate the people that tuned in over on Rumble. One person hanging out in the locals chat, and anywhere you guys support, I do truly fucking appreciate it. So thank you very much. You've made 5 years fly by, and here's to 5 more. So hope everybody has a great, Ryan, what product do you use? I don't fucking know. It's called like spider wax or something. I don't fucking know. But all right, guys, thank you very much. Hope everyone has a good night, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.